Hey there, Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western Practical Astrologer. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking all about this upcoming Leo season. I am a little bit early today. I'm about 10 minutes early. Hope that's okay. And also, this live itself is slightly earlier. Reason being, I'm going to be off next week. It is my partner's birthday, so I wanted to get this out to you nice and early. Leo season 2024. Do you like the little crown on the lion's head? Okay. So just before we do dive in, however, please, if you can, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you would like to book a reading with me, you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find all of my astrology products. Plus, I want to take a moment to say thank you so much to my patrons over at Patreon for all of your support. I appreciate you. Hi, Danielle. Welcome. How are you doing today? Good to see you. It's your season, almost your birthday. Hope you have a great birthday, Danielle. Okay. Oh, and on that note, hey, everyone, Leo season is approaching. So, yes, happy birthday to all of you solar Leos out there. Leo season then begins on the 22nd of July until the 22nd of August this year. So just a quick overview then of some important dates. We've got some of these major transits happening throughout the season. Hello, Daniel. I hope you're doing good. Welcome to you. So Mercury enters Virgo on the 25th of July. Then we have the Mercury retrograde as well, of course. So that begins from the 5th of August. From the 5th of August up until the 28th of August. And it begins from Virgo. And then it enters Leo from the 14th of August. So we're going to be touching on this upcoming Mercury retrograde throughout your horoscopes. And Chiron is also going to be turning retrograde from the 26th of July. Plus, when we look to the new moon, full moon, the new moon is in Leo on the 4th, and then the full moon is in Aquarius on the 19th. So very close to the end of the season, therefore, the full moon in Aquarius. Then we have here Venus also entering Virgo this same day as the new moon in Leo takes place. And lastly, we have the asteroid. Remember, there was a retrograde of Juno through Virgo for quite some time. So we have the asteroid Juno entering Libra. Oh, Juno has Juno will take on a whole new sort of set of qualities after being in Virgo for so long. But then, hey, Venus is coming along and following the same path. We're going to get into it. And Danielle, you say that your birthday is on the 31st of July. Woohoo! Awesome. I wonder if you're doing anything nice, anything special for your birthday. I hope you are. Treat yourself like the queen you are, right? The Leo queen. All right. So just to go over the sun, this is what we do here. We like to go over the sun because the sun is the focus. This is why I do these seasonal videos. Leo season begins 22nd of July up until the 22nd of August. So we're going from nurturing ourselves throughout Cancer season and also nurturing others, right? Our loved ones, those we cherish, those who we hold near and dear. So we go from all of this to stepping into the spotlight, right? It's very much about shining, radiating, right? This radiance, this glow that we give off like the sun, expressing ourselves with pride, with confidence, with self-assurance. We also go from being protective and rather tenacious, right? This Cancerian archetype, this Cancerian symbol. Imagine those pinchers with the crab just holding on to being loud, fierce, confident. And we also go from shining a light on our emotional security, right? Our inner world, our comforts, our home life. I'm still feeling this, by the way. Of course, we're still in Cancer season as I record this. I do appreciate Cancer season so much. But we go from all of this to, well, play, fun, embracing our creativity. Yes. And then just a few other things here, right? Some aspects. Now, when it comes to the aspects in astrology, this is where it's really beneficial to join the Patreon because I go over the aspects there in detail. So looking at the energies for each day, your daily forecasts. But here's the thing about Leo season that I want to mention. The sun is home. It is home in Leo. So the sun's returning home. Yay! It's time to celebrate, okay? So it's funny because that's what Leo teaches us. Leo is so much about celebration, parties, having a good time, letting your hair down, right? Just have fun, says Leo. And this is also about just being positive. I mean, Leo can have such a sunny attitude, a very positive attitude about life, very heartfelt, right? Leo speaks from the heart and does things from the heart. Loyalty is huge when it comes to this archetype, massive. Leo is a very determined sign as well, I gotta say. Very determined, can be highly ambitious. But of course, the thing is that Leo can see the best in people and can often get heartbroken. It's not nice to hurt the feelings, the ego, the pride of a Leo. You know, Leo as an archetype can show up as caring a lot and being really genuine, actually, being very authentic. So when hurt, it's a lot. So with the aspects, just quickly here, the sun on first arrival will oppose Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So we're really going to be focusing on these themes to do with the collective versus our individuality. Then we have a few other aspects there. Now, I'm not going to get too much into these, okay? But it's just to show you the path of the sun. So you can, look these up, follow along, right? So overall, though, just remember that when it comes to the sun is so much about our vitality, our ego, how we shine. It's so much about our self-expression. And within Leo, the sun takes on more of this sort of authenticity, as I was saying. It takes on more of this loud, confident, creative, self-expressive energy. So yes, do make sure to consider those aspects throughout the season. And just to also go over quickly a couple of retrograde movements, we've got Chiron retrograde in Aries, so beginning from the 26th of July all the way up until the 29th of December. Indeed, right? So it's going to be going from 23 degrees to 19 degrees. Keep in mind that the North Node is still in Aries, the South Node is still in Libra, so kind of think of the Chiron retrograde from July until December just as a time to ponder over, think about, okay, what healing has happened for you whilst Chiron has been in Aries so far, especially with the North Node in Aries. So, for example, this could look like how we show leadership, how we assert ourselves. But at the same time, with the South Node being in Libra, there are themes of negotiation, compromise, and win-win outcomes, right? Things being mutually beneficial, being diplomatic, being reasonable. But yes, do consider what lessons have come up for you so far. And then we also have Mercury retrograde happening from the 5th up until the 28th of August. That will begin in Virgo from 4 degrees to 0. So that will be from the Virgo part will be from the 5th until the 14th. And then we have Mercury going back into Leo from 29 degrees to 21 degrees. So that's going to be from the 14th of August all the way up until the 28th of August. So first thing to say about this, I'm only going to touch on the beginning parts for these horoscopes. So I am going to touch on then, yes, the Mercury retrograde in Virgo, and then part of it in Leo, and then within the Virgo season horoscopes, that will be more of a time of reflection, more of a time of, okay, well, what did you learn during that Mercury retrograde, etc. And I also want you to think about, the pre-shadow period and the post-shadow period. So the pre-shadow period of Mercury is from the 16th, so it's coming up very soon. So that's going to be from the 16th of July until the 5th of August. Just kind of think of the pre-shadow period as, ooh, you very well could be revisiting a situation that comes up during that time. So during the retrograde itself, maybe there is a situation that you look over or you review that is related to the pre-shadow dates. And then, so it's kind of like a preparation, okay? You're preparing for an exam. And then the post-shadow period, which that will be more, we'll talk more about that within the Virgo season horoscopes, but the post-shadow period is more to do with, okay, well, what did you learn? Mull things over, anything that, you haven't fully processed yet, based on what came up during the retrograde. So we're going to touch on these things today. Also, just to mention, do remember here your placements. I cannot say that enough. Placements that are sort of activated by transits really do matter. So if you, for instance, have any planets, if you're ascendant, any angles even, are in Virgo, so from around about that 0 to 9, 10 degree mark, about that, then do remember that Mercury is going to conjunct whatever planet that is for you. If it's Venus, so the Mercury retrograde will be more about your relationships, your money. If it's Mars, the Mercury retrograde will be more about your willpower, your drive, right? But then equally, do remember this when it comes to Leo. Okay, so Leo placements. So think about Leo planets or placements, angular houses there from around about that. I would even say 15 degrees Leo all the way up until the end, because it reaches back to the 21 degree mark. So, I mean, you could have certain planets in Leo around those degrees. So we're talking 15 degrees to 29 degrees. So you could have, for example, Jupiter. So there could be a lot there to do with your faith, your belief system that is reviewed or is looked over. Or let's say it is, let's go with Saturn, right? Saturn, then such matters will be more about respect, reputation, your inner authority, and so on. And remember, naturally, aspects. So do remember things like trines, sextiles, oppositions, etc., etc. So yes, consider your own chart. Daniel, you said it is such a nice evening, so you put your earphones on. Oh, you're going for a walk whilst listening. Oh, that's so nice. Do you know what? That's a great way to spend your evening. That's a really nice idea. I might follow your lead sometime and do that. I love doing that. It's so relaxing. So enjoy. And Danielle, okay. Here we go. Yes, Danielle. This is going to be extra personal for you, right? 3 degrees, Mercury, 7, there are 7 degrees with Venus. I mean, you're about to approach your Mercury return and your Venus return. Oh, I wonder if you've looked into those. Very exciting. Very exciting for you, Danielle. And then you've got Jupiter there in Leo too in the fourth. Wow. Okay, cool. Cool. Hi, Lou L. Nice to have you. You have 4 planets in Leo. Nice. Good to know. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Now, before we get into your horoscopes, I'm just going to just put this here, right? You can screenshot this information. It's just something it's something that I used to go into more detail about, but I just feel like it's better just to share this and then you can look into it for yourself. And I do want to say that when it comes to aspects, I talk all about them over on my Patreon. So if you want that information, you can join the Patreon. But there's just there's a few major aspects to consider throughout Leo season. Okay, so we have things like Sun opposite Pluto retrograde. We've got Venus square Uranus. We've got Sun sextile Mars. We've got Venus conjunct Mercury retrograde. Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. All these different aspects throughout the season. There's the other page. Okay, so you can screenshot these if you like. But what I'm actually going to do for the horoscopes is I will do sort of like an aspect of the week, we just sort of focus on it a little bit for you. Yeah. So there's just the other part of it. The 15th there until the rest of the season. I mean, Vesta's also in Leo right now, so that's exciting. Yes. Okay, so we're now going to get into your horoscopes. Woohoo. Hi to GL Shay. You have 4 planets from 1 to 10 in Virgo in the 12th. Okay, so a lot of deep reflection for you there with the 12th house activations. Very nice. Right, so timestamps. Let's do this. Aries. Thank you for being here, everyone, by the way. Okay, Aries. So to begin, for you throughout Leo season, first things first is we're going to touch on the moons quickly. To be clear, when it comes to a new moon and a full moon, I make a video about those separately, but on the 4th of August, there will be a new moon in your 5th house, Aries. So that will usher in new beginnings, new chapters, planting new seeds to do with things like children, love, loyalty, connection, coming from the heart, joy, happiness, the things that bring you pleasure. And then we have a full moon happening on the 19th of August in your 11th house. So there will be some type of clarity to do with community, right? Thinking about togetherness, union, community, all those things. Society, yeah. But of course, as I'm saying here, there will be separate videos about the moons, okay? So more information to come about those, about the new moon and the full moon. Right, let's think about the retrograde, Mercury retrograde for you. So it's going to start from your 6th house, from the 5th of August until the 14th of August. So that retrograde, I feel that part of it is so much about you coming to terms with, okay, what do you need to reorganize when it comes to your daily habits and routines? This can be a really useful time for you to consider greater efficiency, greater productivity. Another possibility, though, with this is thinking about how it is that you attend to your everyday habits in terms of your health. So, health could be a big focus for you, especially your mental well being, your mental health thing about how Mercury rules the mind. And maybe there's also something here about the nervous system, your stress levels. So, where might you be feeling a lot of stress, and how can you minimize that stress a little bit for yourself? Perhaps themes here come up to do with being active or just getting outside and making sure just that you're looking after your body, right? That you're looking after yourself there. This can actually be quite a beneficial thing for you, Aries, with that retrograde. Plus, there could be some information that isn't quite clear yet during the retrograde, right? There could be some news that you're still waiting on, some feedback that you're still waiting on from coworkers, from employees. Perhaps there is some type of idea that is slowly, gradually coming to fruition, right? It's more of a planning stage. This is what I'm getting here from the beginning of this Mercury retrograde. There's a bit of planning that's happening when it comes to work, when it comes to your services. So just stay with that. Now, from the 14th of August on all the way until the end of the season. So we're focusing just on Leo season here. From the 14th of August until the end of Leo season, which will be up until the 22nd of August, Mercury retrograde will enter your 5th house. So there could be more learning or many more ideas to come up to do with your creativity, to do with fun, joy, the things that bring you pleasure, right? And these things you see are also going to be linked to your work because, of course, Mercury is the ruler of your 6th house. So yes, the creativity stuff and the fun stuff could be linked to that of your work and your everyday habits, So this could look like, for example, um, a particular creative project that you're working on that you can maybe make more time for, or it could more just be about you trying to navigate between the more of the creativity and hobbies of yours versus um, your workload. So there are themes there coming up, and I think a lot of this too is about being practical. Being mindful of how you can make things, how you can make things more practical for yourself. Okay, another thing I want to say about this is the other Mercury ruled sign is Gemini, and Gemini is in the 3rd house. So the Mercury retrograde is also going to be tied to that of gathering information, spitballing ideas, right? Even Mars is your chart ruler. Mars is in the 3rd house in Gemini throughout Leo season. So there is a lot of activity and drive and willpower going into that of your ideas and just being a bit more communicative and intellectual and wanting to learn new things, even just bouncing your ideas off others or just collaborating. Collaboration could be a big part of this too. Furthermore, I want to talk about Venus. Yes, I want to talk about Venus. So, from the beginning of Leo season until the 4th of August, we have Venus in the 5th house for you still. Now, Venus did just enter Leo today from the 11th of July, funny enough. But what does this suggest for you? Well, your 5th house being activated by Venus really welcomes in beauty and charm and grace when it comes to entertainment, play. Oh, there's just such a focus, such an emphasis upon pleasure, your free time, enjoying yourself this season, Aries. So do something fun. Do something fun, do something creative, possibly doing such things with a partner, right? Or with a friend, with someone that you care about, even because, Venus rules your seventh. So maybe there is a big part of this to do with your significant other. And yeah, just doing a fun activity or going on an adventure with your significant other. Again, this could be a friendship situation. Perhaps even this is about business, right? You getting together with a business partner or with a potential business partner and then making things happen there. But there is a strong focus upon cooperation and collaboration, but there's also an element of being really creative together, going through that creative process together. Plus, from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season, Venus will enter your 6th house. So the creativity stuff, the hobby, fun, pleasure, play stuff, it's now going to be more so switching from that to, okay, time to get serious or time to be practical, time to be sensible. Um, there's just I feel like there's a lot to do with efficiency and productivity. I think that these things are going to be quite significant for you throughout Leo season, right? Because the Mercury retrograde is also activating the 6th and 5th houses for you. And then, even with the new moon happening there in the 5th house, right, you may very well set new intentions, to do with this stuff, to do with the collaborating stuff when it comes to your creativity. Hey, this could also be about romance and love and just feeling connected, really feeling connected. Perhaps even Venus entering Virgo can suggest more of a time uh, to find more of an enjoyment, a beauty within the everyday, within the mundane. Okay. Furthermore, I want to mention that Juno is going to enter your 7th house from the 9th of August. So we're just going to focus more on the rest of Leo season here. But yeah, Juno and Libra. It seems as if partnership will be quite the focus here with Juno and Libra in your 7th, and business as well. So if anything, I feel as if Juno just adds to the collaboration stuff that I just mentioned. But of course, what I want to say about Juno here in Libra is that you're going to want to make sure that things are balanced, fair, harmonious, things like this. And you're going to weigh out your options too, I feel, when it comes to business and the relationship, when it comes to the relationship that you have with your significant other too. Okay, so I'm thinking, do we have time to do an aspect of the week? Because I feel like I've done quite a bit for you, Aries. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my aspects. I'm gonna keep my aspects for the Patreon. I feel like I can just go more in detail there, and I've touched on the Mercury retrograde. Yes. Okay, brilliant. So we're just gonna go with this structure for everybody else. Let's now move on to Taurus. We've talked about you for quite a bit, Aries. Thank you so much, Aries. Okay, and Lou, you said that you have Sun, Moon, and Venus in Leo, and Mercury in Virgo, and a Virgo ascendant. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of focus then on these areas for you. You already have placements there, so quite personal. Okay, Taurus. Let's see. Just give it a second for the timestamps. All right, so Taurus, here we go. So let's firstly think about the moons, okay? The new moon and the full moon. And just to say that there will be a separate video for the new moon and for the full moon. So more detailed information to come. But on the 4th of August, there will be a new moon in your 4th house, Taurus. So that new moon is going to usher in a new cycle to do with, well, how you express yourself within the home, how you're seen, how you radiate within the home. There could be a big focus on being creative as well within your home, within your private world, and possibly too setting new intentions to do with family, right? To do with the types of relationships that you have with your family and your relatives, and planting new seeds there. Perhaps a lot of this is more about celebration, it's more about joy, happiness, warmth, loyalty. And then we see here that on the 19th of August, the full moon happens in Aquarius in your 10th house. So it appears, Taurus, as if you're going to be releasing, shedding, letting go when it comes to matters that involve your career, your professional lives, status, your reputation, your life's work, right? Yes, your public position, all of these things are going to come to light. And there's going to be a lot of clarity. You may even reap a few rewards there. Now, again, there are going to be separate videos to do with the new moon and the full moon. Let's now move on to Mercury retrograde happening throughout Leo season. So, Mercury retrograde will start from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in your 5th house. Right. So, with Mercury retrograde here in the 5th house for you, it appears as if you're going to be reassessing certain conversations or relationships that you have with romantic partners, possibly. There could be conversations about love or enjoyment too, maybe making things a bit more practical or being a bit more constructive about your hobbies and about your free time, how you spend your free time, your spare time, all of this stuff. Maybe as well, there's going to be a bit of a focus on your self-care and looking after your mind there, looking after your body, connecting with your body. And perhaps too, we're kind of thinking about how you express yourself, right? I mean, the 5th house can look at self-expression, it can look at our individuality. So maybe for you, there could be old narratives or old conversations that come up regarding self-expression, such as, I mean, possibly considering any criticisms that you have towards yourself, or even just thinking about how you can make small improvements on an everyday basis, so that you feel healthier or so that you feel stronger or just more well-rounded there. Yeah, there could be matters to do with health there that come up then for you. And I also want to mention that when we think about Gemini in the chart, so Gemini is in your 2nd house, right? So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Perhaps there's also something here throughout Leo season to do with your finances, your earnings, your spending habits, thinking about the types of streams of income that you have, or the streams that go out, right? The output of your finances there. And because the 2nd house is about all of these things, Perhaps Taurus, for you, the Mercury retrograde in Virgo from the 5th until the 14th will bring up just more of a reassessment, a review with respect to your finances and your earnings. Maybe some readjustment, right? Greater flexibility, moving things around so that things are more efficient or so that things work better. They function a lot better for you. And from the 14th of August until the end of the season, Mercury will then be in Leo. Mercury retrograde will be in Leo. So, yes, from the 14th of August until the 22nd of August, we see here with the Mercury retrograde in Leo, well, more of this focus on family matters. Now, what I'm going to say with this one is just to possibly be a bit more conscious of or aware about family dramas, getting caught up in old conversations or old subconscious habits, or even being aware of or trying to bring attention to any emotional needs that are not being met, or not feeling heard or not being listened to. There could be some of this stuff going on because the fourth house can be quite a sensitive thing. I guess you can look at it this way. Family know our family knows how to push our buttons the most, right? Because they see us in our most sort of private, vulnerable ways. They've known us since we were born. So yes, family can push our buttons. So do be cautious of that. But I will also say this could be quite a healing time actually when it comes to family relationships, such as reaching resolves, repairing, family relationships through effective communication there. Maybe as well, it's just really looking at, okay, what what is the dialogue happening amongst family members, and is there anything that you just want to get off your chest? Is there anything that you just want to speak on? And speaking on these things from the heart. Plus, with Mercury again, and being that ruler of both your fifth and your second houses, there could also be conversations there with family members about money, right? Or about romance and relationships and free time. So yes, we could see these things coming up for you. There could even be the like new or old, sorry, older conversations that are had. So we think about the past, memories, your upbringing. Could be family members coming over, who you haven't maybe seen in a long time. And so yes, there's more of that chit chat going on. Okay, what I also want to mention then for you is Venus. Now, Venus is an important player because Venus is your chart ruler, right? So, Venus in Leo here until the 4th of August. So, from the 22nd of July until the 4th of August, well, Venus here in the 4th can actually welcome greater harmony and joy and love and compassion and everything within your home amongst your family. Now, at the same time, I do want to say this. We got to remember that I suppose Venus will not be opposing Pluto so strongly by that time. Maybe what I'm touching on here is more so present for you now. But what the thing that I just wanted to say there is there could be possible power struggles there because of that opposition to Pluto. But again, Venus will be moving on there. But still, I think there could be something here about repairing old relationships or coming to terms with your part within family situations and other people's, right? But hey, Venus there can also suggest just more of a pleasure, a desire um, to be at home, more of a desire to be within your privacy. And possibly too, there is room for a lot of celebration and rejoicing. There could be certain family members that receive really good news, or you may receive really good news about your home, about your living situation. But whatever the case may be, Venus in Leo does suggest some type of rejoicing and enjoying yourself amongst family. And hey, the family stuff could also be related to more, people who are really close to you, right? People who feel like family. It's more about that love that exists amongst the people that you cherish the most. Now, Venus then will enter Virgo from the 4th of August. So, from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season, we have your chart ruler moving into the 5th. So, that is going to also welcome more of this focus upon self care, your health, your body, your everyday routines, your everyday habits. But thinking about these things in combination with free time and hobbies and your creativity. Even thinking about here crafts, crafts, art, anything that you're maybe creating right now, Taurus, or that you would like to create. I mean, Venus entering Virgo could be a good time to just do little changes, right? To fix things up, to consider, okay, well, what is going to make me happy here? This could be things like uh, fashion or makeup or beauty, or this could just be about crafts, right? Just small, um, small things that you make with your hands there. And hey, possibly such things are linked to that of your goals or your aims, because Venus is the chart ruler. And I even just want to say with Libra, I mean, Libra rules your 6th house, and Venus is the ruler there of this of Libra. So there could also be more of a focus on how you can balance your everyday lives, focusing on having a greater routine, trying to find trying to find your feet. This, to me, it kind of makes sense because we think about where you've came from, Taurus, over the past few months. It was so much about you for a long time, right? If you think about how there was Jupiter in your sign and Uranus in your sign, it's safe to say that you've been through a pretty what feels like a whirlwind of a year. You're so busy, so active, new opportunities after new opportunities, and that's great, right? But maybe the Libra part of it, especially with Juno entering Libra too from the 9th of August, it's more so about ushering in some type of harmony and balance within it all. Yes. Danielle, you say, yes, you've got a Taurus rising and you love fashion and makeup and beauty. Oh, awesome. So hopefully as well, this will be even more sort of potent for you because it's going to be your Venus return and your Mercury return too. But just to finish here, Taurus, yes, Juno entering Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of the season. We're going to see here you maybe forming greater colleague relationships, and possibly signing new contracts or agreements with certain coworkers or employers there. And there could also be more of a conversation to do with promotion, possibly. Maybe because you're well liked. Hey, right? You know how to play the game, Taurus. Let's just say that when it comes to work. Okay. Let's now move on to Gemini. Oh, is it taking a minute to load? Okay, Gemini. All right, so Gemini. Right, Leo season for you. We have this new moon and the full moon. So there is going to be a video about the new moon and the full moon. There will be separate videos. But the new moon in Leo is going to happen on the 4th of August in your 3rd house, Gemini. So what's going to be ushered in are these new beginnings, these new chapters, planting new seeds to do with things like your neighborhood, your local area, getting from A to B, vehicles, social media, these things. And also with the full moon happening on the 19th of August in your ninth house. So that's going to be in Aquarius. There will then also be the shedding and the releasing to do with broadcasting, publishing, long distance travel. There could also be greater reward or greater clarity when it comes to these areas as well. Now, again, there will be a separate video for a new moon and the full moon. Hello, welcome. Hello. Okay, from Sydney. Very nice. Welcome to you. Thank you for being here. Right, the Mercury retrograde for you, Gemini. So remember that Mercury is your chart ruler. So the retrograde is going to be quite personal. And what I'm about to say is also going to apply to your aims, your goals, your ambitions, your life path. So we see here that the Mercury retrograde is going to begin from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in Virgo in your 4th house. So that part of the retrograde, I feel, is really going to be about, okay, what do you need to reorganize within your home? Maybe this could be redecorating, right? Maybe this could be home renovations. Perhaps this is also about creating a plan. Now, naturally, it doesn't have to be throughout this retrograde that you do all of these things. It's just more that there are conversations happening with respect to these areas, right? It's more about, okay, what is the plan that we can put in place? Maybe having a particular conversation with your family or many conversations with your family about these plans. But the thing I want to say about Mercury and Virgo is this is a very practical way of doing how Mercury shows up. It's about practical communication. It's about making use of our time and fixing things, mending things, help, service, all of these things. It's very much a practical Mercury. There will be practical plans that you write down or that you seek to put into place or put into action during that Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Now, another possibility here is that, well, if we think about how the 4th house also shows up as the kinds of relationships that we have with our family, so you think about the family that you grew up in, the family that you go on to create, these types of things. Yes, Mercury retrograde in the 4th, from the 5th of August until the 14th of August could be more about, okay, having to have that conversation with a particular family member about what you would like to fix or about what you would like to change, or thinking about how as a family you want to do things maybe in a more healthy way, right? Just healthier, creating healthier habits as a family, possibly. Then we have here from the 14th of August until the end of Leo season. So the 14th of August until the 22nd, Mercury retrograde will enter your 3rd house. So I want to say this. As I said a moment ago, the Mercury retrograde will also be linked to that of your aims, your goals, your ambitions, because Gemini is on the 1st house here. So, and even with Mars also being there, there's just this doer energy going on for you throughout Leo season, Gemini. It's like, right, okay, I want to put things into action. I want to initiate. It's go time, says Gemini. Yes. So the home renovation stuff, the family conversation stuff could be linked to that of, okay, what do you want to achieve? There. I'm making things happen. But of course, with Mercury retrograde, remember delays, setbacks can happen. Yeah. I'm not gonna say don't do anything, but it's just to let you know that with retrogrades, yeah, delays can happen, and just make sure that you've checked all of your information correctly. Still, the Mercury retrograde in Leo, then that part of it from the 14th of August for the end of the season. Well, we notice here then more of this thinking over maybe the neighborhood you're a part of, right? You're sort of thinking, am I happy here? Do I feel good here? Do I like it here? Do I like my neighbors? Right? There could also be conversations amongst your siblings, right? Revisiting an old conversation that you had with a sibling, right? Bringing up the past with a sibling. But maybe such conversations are about things like, hey, you know what? Well, it could be about love, it could be about warmth and joy and being creative together, having fun together. you know, and there could also be themes here to do with your classmates, your peers, your friends from school, right? Getting together with old friends and catching up and just really wanting to share and to express yourself with Mercury there in Leo. Indeed, there could be more of an emphasis, more of a focus on conversation. And hey, this stuff could also be applied to the online world, right? Thinking about social media and maybe considering, okay, I want to rethink how I am creative, what I create on social media there during that Mercury retrograde section. Plus Venus. So Venus in Leo. So this will be until the 4th of August. So from the 22nd of July until the 4th of August, here we have with Venus being in Leo. Well, it is about this pleasure that you get from conversing, from socializing. There is even, Venus has just entered Leo, so this is going to apply from today onwards up until the 4th of August. But yes, it is about, okay, um, can we get together? Let's catch up. Let's do the thing. Maybe as well, this is further looking at the beautifying your social media platform, being creative, being artistic there on social media. Perhaps too, there is more of this desire, more of this love to want to hang out with your old friends from school, or perhaps even this is about feeling greater recognition when it comes to your local sort of communities there, thinking about how you show up there within your local neighborhood, your city, etc. And perhaps as well celebrating, right? Celebrating your wins in this way. Celebrating just more on this from this mental view, right? It's like, yes, okay, I'm gonna think like a winner. I'm gonna cheer myself on. Yes, I cannot but think that there's just more of a focus on celebrating, rejoicing, and possibly getting together with old friends, old classmates, siblings, etc. Now, with Venus then entering Virgo from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season. Well, well, here we go. I think there is going to be some spending happening. It's like with Venus and Leo, it's okay, quality time with good friends, and there's a lot of communication and socializing, okay? And that's quite fun and playful and entertaining. And then Mars as well, making those sextiles to the sun. You're going to be quite active. It's going to be quite an active month, I think, for many Gemini on a social level. But Then we have Venus entering Virgo from the 4th from the 4th of August for the rest of the season. And that says, oh, well, I'm going to spend my time making things happen within my home, spending money on all of the supplies and all the things I need to get and all the things I need to do. I can just see many Gemini just whizzing around their home and cleaning and organizing and planning things out. Now, naturally, let's remember that, Virgo does make a square to you, Gemini. So, just be cautious of how much you take on. Be cautious of, not biting off more than you can chew because, Gemini, we love you. You can just have many ideas. And then with all the Virgo, you may want to sort of make them all happen kind of thing. But just with Mercury being retrograde, remember to try and slow down your mind a little bit. It doesn't have to be all done at once, even though it may feel like you can do it all with Mars in your first house. Yes. Lastly, I would like to mention that. Oh, one more thing actually before that. One more thing I want to say here with Venus is remember that Venus does rule the 5th house for you. So, yes, this stuff I talk about to do with many ideas and biting off more than you can chew and being goal orientated, well, such things could be related to that of your hobbies, your creative projects. And maybe as well, there could be something about romance and love coming into the equation, right? Could be a time of there could be more focus here for Gemini. You're spending time with family. That could be a thing. Spending time with your loved ones throughout Leo season and just making moments special, right? Making those memories with your loved ones. And I suppose too, Taurus rules your 12th, so there could be some time to be in solitude or to focus more so on your private world and your imagination throughout Leo season. Lastly, we have the asteroid Juno entering Libra on the 9th of August. So from the 9th of August for the rest of the season, we have here more of this commitment um to your hobbies, to your forms of enjoyment, your free time. uh Libra is so much about beauty and harmony. So this could look like such a focus of value going into these areas of yours romantically. Oh, it can be quite a poetic time. And hey, perhaps as well, this is looking at some type of balance and harmony with respect to children, right? So thinking about spending time with your children and the real bond that you have with any, children that you have. And then of course, this could be related to grandchildren, etc. You could be an auntie, you could be an uncle, right? So thinking about nieces and nephews too. Okay, so that's you, Gemini. Thank you. Moving on to Cancer next. Let me just get my timings here. And hello, everyone. Hello to Teresa. Welcome. Hi to you. And also, Ramlam. Well, the rising sign is most likely going to be more relatable because the rising sign then that really does line up with the houses there. But I do also suggest watching for the sun and moon for different purposes. I have made a video about that. But the sun, I would watch for the sun from this perspective of your self-expression and your ego and your purpose. And then I would watch for your moon more based on this perspective of your inner world, your emotions. But there's more information that can be found about that within a certain video that I've made. It's the video about Should I watch for my sun, moon, or rising? Thank you. Frankie Blue, hello, welcome. You say you've got your Venus. So your Venus is in Leo too. Nice. Nice. Well, happy Venus return. Happy Venus return. Okay. We're now moving on to Cancer. If I just get my All right. Cancer, here we go. Leo season for Cancerians. First things first, the new moon and the full moon. There will be a separate video for the new moon and the full moon, but if we focus on the new moon to begin with, what is being ushered in for you, Cancer, on the 4th of August, whilst the new moon happens in Leo, what is being ushered in are these new chapters, these new beginnings to do with your resources, how you earn, how you spend, right? Your spending habits, thinking about your skills, your talents there as well, your self-worth. So a whole new cycle begins. And then we have the full moon in your 8th house on the 19th of August. So it appears as if for you, Cancer, there will be more of a release, more of a shedding, a letting go to do with intimacy, to do with more of those profound emotionally those emotionally intense and intimate relationships of yours. Plus, hey, this could be reaping rewards or clarity to do with these areas, or clarity even to do with shared resources, right? Your partner's money, other people's money, managing other people's money. Again, there will be a video for each, the new moon and the full moon coming. Let's talk about Mercury retrograde. Yes, this Leo season. So, from the 5th until the 14th of August, Mercury retrograde will happen in your 3rd house in Virgo. So that period, I feel, for Cancerians, it's going to be about, okay, it's time to study. Really. It is time to study. I mean, do remember too that from the 25th of July, Mercury will enter Virgo too. So there will be that period of Virgo being direct there for a period of time, just to mention. But as I was saying a moment ago, do remember the pre and post shadow periods, check the retrograde movements from the beginning. But anyway, yes, time to study, Cancer. Time to think about, go over how you wish to make information practical, how you wish to even make use of the information you have. Good time to go over the details, good time to go over the facts. Think about how this information as well is linked to that of your services, your work. Okay. Consider too how this part of the Mercury retrograde can bring up old news or previous conversations to do with neighbors, siblings, your cousins here, old friends, right? So, yes, this could literally look like getting together with old friends, possibly good company. These old friends are good company. And I also want to think about how Gemini rules the 12th. So Gemini is a Mercury ruled sign. Well, when we think of it this way, I actually think that for you, Cancer, there are elements here of making sure that you're cautious of what you say a little bit, because Mars is in the 12th, and I feel as if with Mars in the 12th house for you throughout Leo season, there is something here about a lot that's held in, or maybe there are a lot of thoughts just going wild and crazy within your mind there. Or it's that you're very active, right? Your mind is very, very active. Maybe for many Cancerians, it's difficult to sleep. Maybe you're stressed out about something. Maybe you're quite worried about something. If we even think about how, right, Virgo and Gemini make squares to each other, right? You could be worried about work. You could be worried about a sibling, possibly. Yeah, I just think that there's a lot on your mind around this time. And this is also where I'm saying here, be cautious of what you say, because it could be a whole thing, Cancer, where you're done with keeping things in. You can be like this. You can be like this, Cancer, right? Where you clam up, you go into hiding, especially when you're upset, especially when something's really bugging you. Instead of just being open or vocal about it, you tend to keep a lot in. But I feel as if Mars in the 12th is going to further add to this, right? And it's going to maybe highlight some type of resistance there on your part. But it may get to a point where you just can't hold it in anymore. And then with Mercury retrograde in Virgo, it could just be where you criticize, you say all of the harsh things. So yeah, maybe a beneficial thing here is knowing what your limits are, knowing how much you can carry, knowing how much you can actually deal with. Many Cancerians, it's a typical thing with Cancerian energy is to take on everybody else's emotional stuff, right? So, yeah, maybe this is about saying, hey, be honest with yourself. Mercury retrograde in Virgo, be honest with yourself about how much you can physically do. Your health here matters. Health is wealth, Cancer. Whew, wow, okay, that came from somewhere quite deep within me. Anyway, I also want to mention that from the 14th of August for the rest of Leo season, Mercury retrograde will be in Leo in the second house. Right. Cancer, this time period is going to be so beneficial for thinking over your financial needs, thinking over what it is that you desire as well, financially, materially, physically. This could be a situation of you seeing, okay, within your sort of own view, your personal ideas of, I would like to make this amount of money, or I would like to get this job or do this thing for a living. There could be a lot of this stuff going on. And plus, with Mars in the 12th house with Gemini there, the activation of Gemini, there could be a lot of imaginative stuff that comes through, dreams, hopes, visions, things like this. So use this part of the Mercury retrograde to your benefit. Go over, okay, yeah, that is what I would like to do. I would like to make money from this. And such things could be about your creativity. But hey, with money to the side, this could also just be about pleasure and joy and what makes you feel good, right? This could be about your skills, your talents, and just having fun with it, right? Just having fun, maybe spending some time to yourself, being very creative in these ways. So, yes, such areas, such matters could be about money, could be about your resources. But such matters could also just be about the sheer joy and the sheer love and the sheer beauty of things. Speaking of beauty, Cancer, Venus, the planet of beauty, is in your second house throughout a lot of Leo season. So until the 4th of August, Venus is in your second house. So what do we see here? Well, there is more of this focus on, okay, money and materials and earnings and the desires that you possess in this regard. And also, this could be about play and fun, just the value that's put into play and fun and free time. Maybe on a romantic level with your significant other, with a partner, with family, with family, because Venus rules your 4th house, right? You've got Libra there in the 4th. So, yes, there could be a big focus on family times, family get togethers, celebration, rejoicing. You may just spend a little bit more money than usual this month or this season, should I say. Yes. Yes, Cancer. I do see this as many Cancerians just spending more money. But again, I feel as if you're gonna feel okay about that because you're like, yeah, it's for a good time. It's for a good time. And I further want to mention that with Venus entering your third house from the from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season, well, it seems as if there is greater charm and elegance and beauty that goes into that of conversation and relating and just conversing with others, maybe as well. It's looking at all of the little details, all the practical things that you want to attend to when it comes to your social media, when it comes to your technology, these things. Um, and maybe too, there is something here about redoing your car, right? Your vehicle. Do you have a vehicle? Do you drive? Do you drive, Cancer? I'm sure many of you do. But yeah, there could be more of a redoing of your vehicle and beautifying it a little bit or seeing what needs fixed. Oh, all the boring things could actually come up, to be honest, Cancer, because with Mercury retrograde there for a part of Leo season, plus Venus in the third, this could look like some issues with your vehicle. Just being honest about that. But hey, you know what? With Virgo, it is about, right, it is what it is. Just get it done, just get it fixed. Hey, this could be about your partner's vehicle. And I really hope it's not because my partner, his sun is in Cancer. And so I am the partner in this instance. And I do not want my car breaking down. Please, no. I don't need that in my life. But anyway, hey, we just gotta think about the possibilities. And as well, it is what it is. You just gotta plan ahead and try and plan for things as best as you can. But yes, vehicles could be a bit of a technical thing, a technical issue to attend to during Leo season for some Cancerians. Now, I also want to mention Juno. So Juno is going to enter Libra on the 9th of August for the rest of the season. So that's going to happen in your fourth house. Well, Juno entering your fourth in Libra. Hmm, we may notice here greater diplomacy, greater um, collaboration and harmony within the home, and just seeking to feel more at ease with your family. And even just on an emotional level, just feeling a bit more balanced and peace. Peace. This, I feel, is so much about seeking and experiencing greater peace from within, Cancer. Thank you so much. And now we're going to move on to Leo. Oh, Daniel, you said that you have to watch the Cancer part later and then make notes. Oh, you're making notes. Cool. Nice. Well, I hope that you benefit from it. Moving on to Leo then. Okay, Leo. Firstly, here we go. I want to say happy birthday to all of you solar Leos out there. Happy birthday. And let's talk about the new moon and the full moon. So there's going to be a new moon in your sign on the 4th of August. So on the 4th of August here, Leo, what will be ushered in is this new cycle, this new chapter to do with things like your goals, your wants, your aims, your direction, your physical appearance. And on the 19th of August, there will be a full moon in Aquarius in the 7th house. So there's going to be some type of shedding, releasing, letting go to do with partnerships, clients, customers, possibly things coming to fruition, clarity within these areas, to do with these areas, possibly reaping rewards as well. Hey, there could be some type of ending or a letting go to do with enemies with the 7th house, right? Now, with the new moon and the full moon, and by enemies, I just mean people that oppose you, by the way. Now, with the new moon and the full moon, there will be a separate video for each. So I'm going to go more into detail about those. So stay tuned for those. Right, let's think about the Mercury retrograde. I'm enjoying these. Yes, I am enjoying these. Right, Mercury retrograde in Virgo and Leo. From the 5th of August until the 14th of August, Mercury retrograde will happen in your second house. So that period for you, Leo, is going to be so much about, okay, what is no longer working? What's no longer working when it comes to your earnings and your resources? This could just be about little tweaks. I like to think of Virgo as the sign that just makes little tweaks to things, right? It's like, oh, okay, that's not fully aligned. Just move it slightly, 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 because Virgo is all about those details. Hey, maybe this is a good time, Leo, to really go over your accounts. Just go over, right? Okay, what's coming into my account? What's going out of my account? Oh, there's like 5p or 5 cents or whatever the currency is. That doesn't seem right? So you can fix that. And this could also be about your skills and your talents. So here's the thing. Leo is a very artsy sign. This is what we're getting at with Leo. Very creative people, very artistic, just as an archetype, very artistic. But with Virgo being in the second house for Leo, that artistic quality is also supported by that of detail, refinement, polishing things up, making things better, right? Improvement, improvement, improvement. So the Mercury retrograde could be so much about, okay, I'm thinking over the improvements. But hey, this could even be about a previous conversation based on improvement, right? A conversation maybe that's work related, it's service related, and then that conversation can support you or help you or go into that of your skills and your talents. Now, Gemini rules your 11th house. So, with Gemini being ruled by Mercury as well, there's something here about community. Community is a big focus. Making plans with certain community members, or just revisiting old conversations with certain community members. Maybe just being very clear about your intentions, being very clear about your own sort of personal views there. And naturally, with this, because there is a bit of a square between these signs, so there could be this kind of energy of wanting to go one way, but then maybe others disagreeing with how you do things because the group kind of comes into this. So there is an element here of trying to balance a little bit of what it is that you would like to refine and reorganize versus sort of other people's motivations and their will, if you will, if you will. Yes. But hey, still, I think that this could be of a good use to you, right? You can think practically, right? Practically speaking, okay, whenever I go to the group, whenever I'm within my organization, my team, right? This could be about work, naturally, right? This could be about work. So, whenever you go to these people and you gain that feedback, how can that information be applied to your own skills, to your earnings, to your spending habits? Also, Mercury retrograde will enter your sign from the 14th of August for the rest of your season. So that part of the retrograde I feel, is going to be more about yourself. It's more of this self-focus. It's more about, right, well, what do I actually want? Because ultimately, Leo, you're going to decide for yourself. That's you. That's what you're like. It's the whole world could be saying, my opinion, this. But really, Leo, you stay true to who you are always. You stay true to your authenticity. You're big on this. You're big on your authenticity. So Mercury retrograde for that period will be about those types of conversations. It will be about, okay, I've gained all the feedback, I've gained all the information, and how that information is even tied to your value system, your skills, your work, your everyday tasks, etc. But you bring that information back to, okay, how does this stuff really align with my purpose, with my life path, with my direction, with what I want as an individual? Yes, many question marks, hey? Leo, with Mercury retrograde in your sign, a lot of question marks, but that can be good. I think, these reassessments, these reviews can be really good for you because maybe this is going to suggest a newfound sense of inspiration or liveliness, or there's some passionate, enthusiastic quality to this. It's just like, oh, which types of people inspire me and who do I want to be around? Who do I really like? Who do I gel with? There's all these types of conversations happening. Okay. Also, I want to mention that Venus is in your sign. Oh, ah. So until the 4th of August with Venus in your sign, you are magnetic. I mean, you're already magnetic, Leo. You already shine like the sun. But Venus says you are glowing. You're glowing even more. You're attracting. You are thinking about, okay, beauty, charm, art, socializing, music, pleasure. Oh, great time to be creative here, Leo. Doing all the things, following all the passion, just following your heart as you do, Leo. But then you say Venus will enter Virgo on the 4th of August for the rest of the season. So we notice here that the function of Venus will turn more from self-motivation, self-focus to that of, okay, I've gotten right with what I want and my desires and my passions and everything else. I see what I've attracted and who I've attracted, etc. Now I want to think more practically. Now I want to value my skills and what I can actually do with my hands and the changes that I want to make. But you see, in a way, such things then they are linked to that of the questions that come up during Mercury retrograde as well. Yes, just greater ways of spending and earning for many Leos, and just putting your skills to greater use. Just this is what I'm getting. That Leo season is going to be about this for you. And hey, this could be really quite useful and beneficial for you, because you may think to yourself, oh, I actually feel like there's a system, there's a process, things are more efficient for me. Just things start to work in a more smooth way and possibly in a more balanced way too, because, Libra rules your third house, and then Venus here is the ruler of your third. So there could be something about creating greater balance, maybe on a more local level, right? Maybe thinking about um, even balancing how it is that you show up on social media, or there could be greater balance when it comes to conversations and collaborations there with other people. Plus, hey, Taurus also rules the 10th. So there could also be that. So the stuff that you reassess and that you revisit with respect to your skills, what you want to do, these areas, they are going to be linked to that of your career, your vocation, how you show up amongst the public, and doing so in a way where you feel more secure. Because ultimately, that's what you're looking for, Leo, right? Your path, your life path, is that of physical security. Lastly, well, we've got Juno entering Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of the season. So that's going to happen in your third. So, maybe for many Leos, there are going to be a few contracts and agreements and commitments that are made verbally or in written word, quite possibly looking at greater negotiation. Good for business. Good for business, Leo. All right. Thank you, Leo. Let's now move on to Virgo. Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Okay. Right. You say your vehicle is safe and well protected. Oh, thank you. I needed that. Leo has a lot going on this year. Whew, yeah. Okay, actually, I'm going to restart it for Virgo because I was talking there. Okay. Okay, Virgo, let's do this. Well, okay. Virgo. Now, actually, hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment. Let me just check something here. Well, Virgo, just a complete mistake on my part. Don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me. I accidentally put the sun in your first house, right? I didn't mean to do that. It should be in the 12th. So just to confirm there for you, Virgo, my mistake. Of course, I had to make the mistake for the Virgo one. Yep. Anyway, I digress. Virgo, we've got a new moon and a full moon happening within Leo and Aquarius throughout Leo season. First, yeah, the moon is also there. Did not mean to do that. Listen, hey, mistakes happen. They happen. It's okay. I'm not perfect. Okay. We have the new moon happening in your 12th house in Leo on the 4th of August, Virgo. So, what does this suggest for you? This is ushering in a whole new cycle, planting new seeds to do with relaxation, rest. This speaks to me so much. Yes, I honestly, with so many planets in Leo, it is maybe time to rest. And maybe when I think about this on a more intuitive level, the fact that the sun and the moon were placed into Virgo instead of Leo maybe indicates to me, as someone who has a Virgo rising, that I need rest. I will be off next week, and I do feel as if mentally I just need to recharge. So, yeah, with so many planets coming into Leo in the 12th for you, it's just more of this focus on your internal world, time to get in touch with your creativity, time to get in touch with inspiration, your imagination. Where does your mind take you? This is about your intuition. This is about sleep, good rest. Oh, when was the last time you properly just relaxed, you let go, and you didn't have any major plans? Virgo. Yes, Leo season, I feel, is going to be so much about these themes for you. But anyway, the new moon in Leo is going to usher in a whole new cycle to do with these themes, right? Plus, the full moon in Aquarius, which will happen on the 19th of August, that is going to indicate releasing and shedding to do with the workload, your stress levels, your productivity, efficiency, greater clarity, greater rewards coming up as well. Things coming to fruition when it comes to work, which honestly, I quite like this for you, Virgo, because you are the Virgo rules, your sign rules the sixth house. So with the sixth house being activated, it can just feel like a weight off, hopefully, for many Virgos this Leo season. Now, let's talk about the Mercury retrograde. Let's talk about it. Because I feel as if Mercury retrograde for you is especially going to be important because, well, firstly, Mercury is your chart ruler. Secondly, Mercury is happening in your sign, or Mercury retrograde is happening in your sign. This, I feel, points toward potential mental fatigue, potentially thinking about how you can just rest your mind for a little bit. And potentially as well, from the 5th until the 14th of August, right? Because this is when the Mercury retrograde in Virgo is going to happen. From the 5th until the 14th of August, this could be about reviewing your plans for the future, reviewing your life path, your goals, your aims, these types of things. Naturally, it's about being practical, it's about being reasonable, responsible, and considering as well your mental well-being, your mental health around this time period. Yes, especially because Mercury retrograde will enter Leo from the 14th of August for the rest of Leo season, and that will happen in the 12th. So this could be of a beneficial time to try and switch off as much as possible. Switch off. And I know this is going to be easier said than done. I know. I know. Try and switch off the phone. Try and switch off social media. And I know as well, Gemini rules the 10th for you. Do keep in mind that Mercury rules both your 10th and your 1st, and then there is this square energy happening. So, with what I was trying to say there is, it can just feel like during Leo season, there is a lot to be doing online. There are many emails to attend to. I mean, for many Virgos, I feel like work is really picking up, or it's that there is a lot expected of you, or it's that you're placing so much focus and many expectations upon yourselves around this time period. All right. And maybe things are just very active. With Mars and Gemini in the 10th, it's just very active. So, back to what I was trying to say there, this I feel is even more reason for why it's important to look after your mental well being around this time. Truly, if you're not feeling it, don't force yourself to do it. I understand we all have responsibilities, we all have commitments, we all have jobs. If a manager or if a boss is wanting you to do X, Y, and Z, okay, I'm not saying to argue with them or, of course, it's still important to keep in mind reality. I get that. But if you can, right? If you can take that time to get outside, sleep, my goodness, sleep when you can. If you can take that time to just let go, right? Have no expectations. Take it, do it. And what I'm also going to say about this, see, by you having more time to rest and to recharge, you will be completely surprised by how much is actually going to come through. How much inspiration, how many ideas are going to come through. You may get in touch with your passion again. There's something about reigniting your flame, reigniting your fire here, Virgo. And I think a big part of Leo season is, this is a big part of what Leo season is about, basically, for you. It's reconnecting with your inner flame, with the things that just make you feel good from within, that light you up from within. And it's not about any kind of goal or direction. It's just about allowing. Surrender. Virgo, my gosh, surrender, especially before your season. You want to feel good for your season, don't you? So surrender for a little bit. And I'm talking to myself here too. And I'm probably being a hypocrite because I know what I'm like. I know what I'm like. So yes, good time to try and relax and surrender here, Virgo. Now, I further want to say that Venus is in your 12th until the 4th of August. So from the beginning of Leo season until the 4th of August, Venus in the 12th, possibly making your dreams come true. And I know this is going to sound so corny when I say this, but I'm saying it anyway. Making your dreams come true with your significant other, with your lover, being romantic, even just behind the scenes, because the 12th house is so much about who we are when nobody's watching. So this could be a great time for pleasure, romance, play, fun, possibly just watching all the movies, listening to all the music. Yes, this I feel is about valuing your free time, valuing joy, happiness. Now, what I further want to say, because Libra rules the 2nd for you, and then Taurus rules the 9th, these themes, to do with greater creativity and inspiration and imagination and solitude, These themes could be linked to that of your income, your resources, your earnings. Maybe this is saying, do you know what? Here's an idea. The more you actually rest, the more you actually relax, the more money you'll make. Ooh, that's an idea. Or this could be just about balance, right? It's just greater balance when it comes to your spending habits, your resources, and your physical security there, Virgo. Plus, with the Taurus part of it, I can't help but feel as if many of you will be sort of traveling within your minds, or this is about visualizing, just being guided by your imagination, or even just tuning in with spirituality, right? Thinking about your connections with the divine. Ooh, and how those connections can show up in really magical, mysterious ways. Hey, but also when we think about making things happen on a practical level, especially thinking about travel and discovery and exploration, all of those things with Taurus and the ninth. And lastly, I want to mention that, well, one of the last things, Venus will enter your sign from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season. So, Virgo, this is all the more reason to try your best to rest when you can, to take it easy when you can, because there's still some busyness happening with Venus entering your sign. It does look like, yes, as I was saying a moment ago, things are picking up. Clients are coming, customers are coming, business is booming, work is calling, especially with Mars in the 10th. You're setting these goals, you're making things happen, you're forming connections, you're out there on social media, you're posting and all these things, you're networking. But then Venus in your sign also says, people are seeing it, they're recognizing you. You are coming into a very attractive time with Venus in the first house, right? You're coming into this magnetic, alluring, pleasing time. Possibly, thinking about the practical steps you can put in place when it comes to your earnings and your spending with Venus there, and how that is going to come across, how your self worth is going to come across in a very attractive way. Yes, we could see here relationships really growing organically or coming together super nicely for you, Virgo. Now, Juno then will enter Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of Leo season. So there does seem to be possible contracts and commitments to do with resources, especially thinking about how you join together. I mean, marriage could be something here, engagement could be something here. You think about that engagement piece or the marriage piece more so specifically, because that could be a situation of, oh, okay, you are joining, you're physically, literally joining together with someone else financially through marriage, but this could also be a business thing. It could possibly be a business thing. And so things can unfold there. Thank you so much, Virgo. So we're going to move on to Libra next, and I'm just going to read through the comments here. That's so funny that I did that for Virgo. I'm just checking the other ones. Checking that I didn't do it for anybody else. Let's see. Yep, Leo. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was just for Virgo. It's funny how even an error, even a mistake on my part, it was enough for me to, yeah, that's intuition, isn't it? I love it. Anyway, right. Just reading through your comments and then we'll move on to Libra. Why is this not moving? Okay. Let me see. Zach, hello to you. You say that you've been feeling that already. Oh, I'm assuming the Virgo horoscope. You've been feeling it. Hey, Edyard, welcome. I'm doing good, Actually, I'm doing really good. Got this live stream. Then I've got a video to record tomorrow, and then I'm off for a week. Yes. How are you doing today? And let me see, Esther, welcome to you. Hi, hi, hi. Crystal, hello, welcome. Oh, so your birthday is on the 27th of July. Happy birthday to you, Crystal. I hope you have a great birthday. Oh, and I'm really, really sorry to hear that the year has been SH1T for you. I'm sorry about that. And I hope that it does improve for you. And Edyard, okay, great, great, great. Libra here, yes. Okay, Libra then next. Let's see, get my timer. No, timestamps. Okay. Libra, all right. So, for you, Libra, we have whew, we have the new moon in Leo on the 4th of August happening in your 11th house. So, there is a lot that's going to be ushered in to do with communities, your organizations, your hopes and wishes for the future. A new cycle begins, right? And you will plant new seeds within these areas. And then on the 19th of August, there will be a full moon in your 5th house. So in Aquarius, so there seems to be some type of reset or letting go to do with possibly children, your creativity, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what lights you up, these things, your hobbies. And you could also reap rewards. There could be greater clarity on your part, right? Now, there will be a separate video about the new moon in Leo and about the full moon in Aquarius. So, more information to come. But let's talk about the Mercury retrograde because, well, Mercury retrograde is going to begin in Virgo from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in Virgo. So that's going to happen in your 12th. Here, Libra. Here we go. I'm going to suggest here for a portion of Leo season, rest your mind. You know, I was already kind of suggesting this to Virgo, but for you, really, really, rest your mind. Libra, let's just talk for a second, right? Sometimes I feel like I need to talk to certain signs. Can we talk about how you overthink a lot? You're such overthinkers. And Mercury retrograde, I feel, could very well look at the extent of your overthinking. But the thing about with it being in Virgo is there could be a lot of criticisms. There could be worry. There could be much stress on your part. But here's the other thing. This is where it's important to try and sleep when you can, rest your body. Think about how you can truly let go of the everyday stuff. And I know, here, I get it. I was saying this to Virgo a moment ago. Like, I get that Saturn right now is in your sixth. And Saturn right now in your sixth is saying, oh, you have so much to do, right? You've got this responsibility. This needs to get done. And it's all very practical. It's all very realistic, yes. But I still can't help but think that for your own sanity, for your own well-being, for your health, the Mercury retrograde segment in Virgo really highlights the importance of being able to switch off. And maybe as well, a part of this is about delegating. Maybe a part of this is about handing over certain tasks and responsibilities. Hey, maybe a part of this is asking for help, Libra. It's okay to ask for help, right? And I also want to mention that with Gemini in the ninth, right? So Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Well, we see here that there is quite a bit happening for you on an intellectual level. So let's think of it this way. all of the studying that you're having to do, having to sort of relearn things or update your skills. There may be a lot of action and motivation and willpower going into training. I mean, advanced training. This could be really like upskilling, truly getting better on an intellectual level. Possibly as well, there could be a lot to do with your beliefs coming up, um, your religious values, your philosophical values coming up as well. And maybe a part of this is sort of saying that, hey, do you know what? It's actually okay. Maybe not to be so focused on those things for right now. If it is that you just need some time for yourself, to me, it just seems like there's a lot of balancing happening for you, Libra, this month. And you are the balancer, you are the harmonizer. But it is interesting because, there's Virgo energy, there's Leo energy, but there's also opposing that Leo, the Aquarius, there's also opposing that Virgo, the Pisces. So there is a balancing act happening this month, and it may feel like you're being pushed and pulled in all of these different directions. But I think this is where it just comes back to that of focusing more on the health and well-being of your body. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything really. Okay. Let's also think about how Mercury retrograde can indicate some types of new visions, or just playing around with your imagination and being able to even apply your imagination to the practical physical world in some way. So that can be fun. That could be a really interesting thing for you. And with Mercury retrograde from the 14th of August for the rest of Leo season, being in your 11th house, there seems to be then with that period a lot to do with having to revisit old conversations amongst friends, amongst people that you work with, people you collaborate with, you network with, and maybe reconnecting with old community members or club members. But there does seem to be an older conversation there within these areas, or it could be about getting things off your chest and what you need and what you want, right? Your individual view within the group, and just reassessing possibly what has been said. Even thinking about certain documents or emails or information that you are still waiting on. Maybe such things are linked to that of your hopes and wishes for the future. Such things could also then be linked to that of your creativity, your art. Think children, children as well, possibly with Leo and with that activation. So yes, there is all of that happening. Mars stuff, and the ninth house could also be related to that of travel documentations. You're reading on certain travel documents, legal matters coming up here throughout Leo season, right? There's just this, it may feel like you're in a bit of a limbo, right? This in-between space where you're waiting, Libra. Now, let's talk about Venus. So Venus, of course, is your chart ruler. Venus is in Leo until the 4th of August. So there's a lot going on here to do with the love and the desire within friendships, communities, and teams. Shining, feeling seen, feeling valued, collaborating and networking in joyful ways. You're here for a good time, right? Even just feeling this connection, feeling this kind of togetherness with others. Yes, there's this warmth, there is this embracement from your community, maybe because of celebration, maybe because of children, maybe because of rejoicing, right? And then Venus will, of course, enter Virgo from the 14th of August, or sorry, from the 4th of August, my apologies, from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season. So that will happen in your 12th. So we go from your chart ruler being all about, okay, rejoice and fun and creativity and play, to that of, okay, it's actually time to get things done behind the scenes. There are more matter of fact situations that need to be attended to. But again, just remember with Mercury retrograde, right? There's still that Mercury retrograde happening. Just remember that you can only do so much. And there could be something about your mind just being on overdrive, or you're seeing all of these little things, the little things, and it all just builds up and you're just like, oh, I can't cope with this, right? So try and just breathe throughout this season. You will get through this. And if anything, with Venus in your 12th, try and focus on greater ease. Just take the path of least resistance. Do what works. This is a thing that I've recently learned. Do what works versus what is correct. Right? There's a difference between what works versus what is correct. So do keep that in mind if it does feel like little things are just going to get to you throughout Leo season. And then Juno enters your sign, Libra, from the 9th of August for the rest of Leo season. Libra, this could be really quite beautiful, I'm going to say, with Juno here. I mean, it could be that there is greater commitment, greater meaningful bonds, feeling like people do want to join in and help. It could be that you feel really supported by your significant other. There could be business opportunities coming up here in ways where, things do feel aligned with Juno entering your first. Scorpio. Thank you, Libra. Scorpio. Where are we? Okay, so we move on to Scorpio next. Right. So Scorpio, the new moon in Leo will happen on the 4th of August in your 10th house. So what will be ushered in are these new cycles, these new beginnings to do with things like success, accomplishment, achievement. Hey, many Scorpios are being recognized indeed, especially with the sun there. So much is shining on that off your public presence, your public image. You're being recognized for the work that you've been putting in, Scorpio. And let me just say, very driven people, very devoted, dedicated people. The amount of times you have overcame battles, defeats, you're like, no, you're not going to defeat me. I'm going to get through this. So, hey, Scorpio, time for applause, time to rejoice, time to really celebrate your wins. Yes. Now, the full moon will also happen. The full moon will also happen in your 4th house in Aquarius on the 19th of August. So that is going to be in your 4th. Yes. Also then, this looks like releasing, letting go, shedding old habits, basically, to do with, well, your emotional security. This could be about what you need in order to feel safe, what you need in order to feel protected. There could be some clarity or rewards to do with family and home, possibly things coming to fruition when it comes to family and home as well. So there will be a separate video about the new moon and the full moon coming, so stay tuned for those, Scorpio. But let's talk about Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde is going to happen from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in your in your 11th house. So Scorpio, it looks like this part of the retrograde will invite um, greater conversation about the kinds of healthy habits that you wish to make within your communities. This could also be about revisiting old conversations with friends, maybe about practical matters, about what can be fixed, what can be changed. Maybe, for example, this could be an old idea that resurfaces, right? An old idea that comes up, and you bring it to the group, or somebody else brings it to the group, and you and the group just you band together, you come together, and you make things happen. This could be a really beneficial time, Scorpio, to go over systems, to look at the how things function within your organizations, within your teams, so that you and the company or the firm or whatever can work together more effectively. You're like, yes, give it to me, because you're all about that. Scorpio is amazing at figuring things out, amazing at kind of looking at a system and looking at, okay, how does this work? How does this work? You will pull things apart. You'll take it apart piece by piece, and then you'll observe it, assess it, analyze it. So this Mercury energy in the 11th for you can be really useful. Think about that, right? Think about the fixing and the mending and how things work, how that stuff applies to communities and groups, teams. And let's think of it this way. Gemini rules your 8th. So Mercury then is also the ruler of your 8th. So there seems to be here an element of how it is that you can collaborate on a financial level. Let's think of it in terms of business, for example, managing other people's accounts, other people's resources. The Mercury retrograde in Virgo could invite more of this needing to know how things function and operate so that financial matters can be managed effectively. Keep in mind here, Scorpio, your chart ruler Mars is in the 8th whilst this is happening. So there is more of this drive and this willpower going into that of management, enterprise there. Another possibility here could be about revisiting old conversations about intimacy. You're all about intimacy. You're all about emotional honesty, emotional bonding. Hey, this is a good time here throughout Leo season to get very clear, very, very clear about what you want, about your desires. Yes. Now, let's also think about the Mercury retrograde entering your 10th house. So this will be from the 14th of August for the rest of Leo season. So this part of the retrograde, I feel, oh, well, this is where my mind is going. Possibly butting heads with certain members of authority, right? There could be a battle of the wills here, but it could also be about having taking a closer look at an old conversation with a boss or a manager, so that the information and the contract, whatever, it's clear to you. There's just something here, possibly something suspicious, right? You're all about this, Scorpio. You can feel, Scorpios, you can feel when things feel off. So if there is any sort of hunch, anything that feels off to you, I think the Mercury retrograde in Leo part of it will say, just wait. Just wait and see how things play out organically. Gather the information and the facts that you need. And that information and those facts could then be related to status, your reputation, your public image, right? Your career, these things. So this is about, I think, being your stealthy self, Scorpio, being your calculating, and I don't mean it in a negative way. I just mean more, you're calculating self, not in a negative way, but more in a way of making sure that you have all the information that you need and being wise about it. And then I think as well, a part of this stuff is tied to recognition, being seen. Maybe, Mercury retrograde in Leo, this part of it from the 14th of August for the rest of the season, that will actually welcome a previous discussion to do with leadership, right? This could be about promotion. This could be about being seen within your job, being paid more, the public noticing you, all these things. Maybe social media is a big part of this if you're online, okay, if you're a social media person. Also, I want to mention Venus. So Venus is in Leo from, well, until the 4th of August. So until the 4th of August, with Venus transiting your 10th house, well, this is all the more reason for why people are noticing you, because Venus says you are attracting these work experiences, these potential promotions, the recognition stuff. You're this beaming ball of light right now, even with the sun there. My goodness, there's this big spotlight shining on that of your career, your professional lives. Hey, there could be something here about you. Yes, you're also waiting on, certain information to come to light with Mercury retrograde there in your 10th house. But Venus still says that you value yourself throughout it all, right? Venus says, yes, I'm still going to love myself here. I'm still going to express myself the way I want. This is about self-assurance. This is about confidence. Maybe as well, this is about your earnings and the kind of money you want to make and the position that you hold, and just staying very true to those things, being very honest with yourself and authentic as well. Let's even think of it this way. Libra rules your 12th. So, hey, you know what? There could be some fears coming to the surface. There could be some fears, some worries, possibly irrational fears, right? So, fears to do with success, fears about recognition, fears about your career. But maybe, quite possibly, support from your significant other or from a good friend or someone you trust can really help you. We also further see this with Taurus on the 7th. So maybe having a voice of reason there. Maybe this could be about feeling more connected and just grounding yourself with another person, and that can really bring you back to center, can help you just from freaking out so much, I guess you could say. Even just to touch on quickly, and I know the aspects I like to keep for Patreon, I do like to do that, but just to say, naturally, Venus will eventually square Uranus in the 7th for you. So with Venus square Uranus, they're more toward the end of it's going to be more around the 3rd-ish, the 2nd of August, 3rd of August, or around that time. Yeah, with that square to Uranus, there could be a bit of a freak out for many people, a freak out about, materials, resources, direction, these things, my values, etc., etc. So I just wanted to mention that. But what I'm trying to get at is your partners, people you trust, could really help just ground you, because, yeah, there can be a freak out, but maybe it's just about being patient here a little bit. Okay, it's all going to work out here, Scorpio. So I just wanted to touch on a quick aspect. Right, let's now move on to Venus entering Virgo from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season. So that's going to happen in your 11th. My goodness, Scorpio, you're going to be so magnetic, so charming, so beautiful and handsome in front of your friends, amongst your groups, amongst the people that you're in a team with. There is something here about you really showing up and doing the work and handling things so well. Coming across as so polished and clean and put together. And people are just like, yes, thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your services here, Scorpio. And there could be greater reward and financial opportunities because of these things. Now, lastly, Juno will enter Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of Leo season. So that will happen in your 12th. So maybe this is looking at your dreams and possibly your fears. To do with marriage, to do with commitment, to do with negotiation and compromise. Yes, it could be a bit of a, a good time, I guess, to rest and try and just meditate on certain ideas and views about relationships and business, partnering up with others. How does it all feel, Scorpio? Focus on that. Focus more on your feelings, but also spiritually. How spiritually aligned are you with such things? Thank you so much, Scorpio. Let's now think about Sagittarius. Sagittarius. I just need to... I'm just going to read your comments a moment. Let me see. Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to you. I noticed your comment a moment ago. But yeah, so you said that this is really lining up to a place for you. Oh, it's really lining up for you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I wish you all the best. So your sun is in Virgo as well. Yeah. Is the retrograde going to happen around your sun? Is your sun around 9? Is it between 0 and 9 degrees, about that? But then, hey, you know what? Venus will also start to join with your sun too. Do keep in mind the sun is about more of your self-expression, your individuality, your purpose. So yeah, there's going to be more of a focus there on those areas for you. Okay, right. So we're thinking about Sagittarius next. Okay, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, that was incorrect. Didn't mean to do that. Sagittarius. Okay, let's do this. Sagittarius. Right. We have a new moon happening. Right. Time to get serious. We have a new moon happening in your 9th house on the 4th of August. So, Sagittarius, what is going to be ushered in for you are these new beginnings, these new chapters to do with things like travel, legal matters, advanced training, higher education. Maybe it's a time of celebration for many Sagittarians when you think about, how far you have come when it comes to higher education. And also, we notice on the 19th of August, there will be a full moon in Aquarius in your 3rd house. So that full moon will point toward a release, a shedding with respect to things like vehicles, getting from A to B, right? Commuting stuff. You're thinking about your local area, the city you're in, your neighborhood. There could be themes here to do with relocating. Maybe you've recently relocated, right? So there is an ending there, or there's some finalizations happening there. Or there could be finalizations to do with social media, communication, your intellect as well. Clarity could be gained even when it comes to your siblings, your neighbors, so on and so forth. There will be a separate video for the new moon and the full moon coming. Let's talk about Mercury retrograde. Okay, so Mercury retrograde will begin from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in Virgo in your 10th house. That part of the retrograde, I think, is going to be so much about, okay, what about previous conversations to do with managers, bosses, employers? Is it that you are waiting on some important information, some important documentation when it comes to your job, when it comes to the services you offer and provide? Is it that, there's also some time that's still being put into that of your promotion, a potential promotion for you, right? Maybe you've been working really hard, you've been showing up time and time again, Sagittarius, and it is about, okay, let's go over the review. This could look like a job review, right? This could be a check-in, a job check-in, a service check-in to see, okay, how have you been doing at the company? What's been going on with you? It's this type of stuff. But if we think about it, maybe more so from an angle of you working for yourself, right? There could be business, self-employment. This could just be more of a review of the business itself, right? How have things been structured, right? What about recognition there? Or what about marketing, media? How are you showing up there within your role? So a good time to just go over the plan, to go over practical matters, making small tweaks. But here's the other thing. Gemini rules your seventh. So with this other Mercury ruled house, these conversations about your work and your services and possible promotions and your performance reviews and stuff like this, well, they're also linked to that of the kind of relationship you have with your significant other, right? There could be more conversations to do with how you and your significant other, how you both play a role within the relationship. What is the give and take? Is it that you're seeking some type of win-win outcome, a win-win solution so that both parties, get what they want within it? Or maybe this is just more about the mundane. Maybe this is more about certain tasks and responsibilities that need to be done. And hey, with Mars in the seventh, what I will say about this is just the possible discord, Sagittarius. That could be a thing. And this is not necessarily a bad thing, because the possible discord or challenge or conflicts that arise within your relationships right now could be teaching you something, could be telling you something, maybe telling you something about certain unfulfilled needs, or telling you something about children, or about your unconscious, right? Fears, possible fears as well could come up. And hey, this could also be about business. There could be more of this push to want to negotiate or to want to change things on a business level. Now, with Mercury being retrograde, this is where it is about, okay, make sure that all of your documents are signed, they are correct, you've looked over the details, just check, 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 Sagittarius, especially when we think about how this information of what I'm saying here is tied to that of business partnerships, agreements, contracts, work, the public, your public image, stuff like that. All right. Mercury retrograde will then enter into Leo from the 14th of August for the rest of Leo season. This is an interesting one because, yes, certain people are coming to my mind with Sagittarius placements. But anyway, Mercury retrograde entering into the 9th house for you could suggest some type of delay, having to wait when it comes to travel documents, legal documents, court hearings, possibly for some people, right? There could even be an older conversation that is had between you and someone that who's living abroad right now. This could even be about traveling, right? Traveling to go see someone you love. This could even be about someone coming to live with you, coming to stay with you. This could be about children as well, right? So there's just maybe things just get lost in translation, I guess you could say, with respect to travel and movement, stuff like that. Hey, this could even be about university or college or your higher education there, what you're wanting to learn. There could be a certain program you really want to join or a certain course that you really want to be a part of, but Mercury retrograde kind of says things are moving. They're still moving. They're still happening, but you just gotta wait a little bit. There's some delay, or it's just that there's more hoops to jump through, right? There's just more hoops to jump through. So, yes, there is all of that could happen for you. Okay. I even want to think about how that information is tied to the relationship as well, the relationship stuff, the partnership stuff. Maybe awaiting useful information that you need so that you can move forward with a certain program, for example. But yeah, it's almost like you're depending on another person. It's out of your control, essentially. Right, let's think about Venus. Venus is in Leo until the 4th of August in the 9th. So there is a genuine desire to want to travel. There is a genuine desire to want to spread your wings, to want to try new things, right? I mean, this is you, Sagittarius. You're all about new experiences. You're all about exploration and new opportunities. You don't stay in one place for too long. You're always moving. You're always moving on to the next thing. And a lot of this is about passion and enthusiasm and having fun. So Venus here in the 9th says, yes, have all the fun. Have all the fun. Enjoy it. Try new things. Be adventurous if you want. Be courageous. Be bold. Be dramatic. Indeed. Yeah. Maybe a lot of you Sagittarians will just be exploring a great deal, even if it's not about traveling to another country, etc. It's just more within your own country. There could be greater exploration, road trips, stuff like that. Hey, this could even just more so be about what you learn during your spare time. It's just more about seeking knowledge for the fun of it, Sagittarius. Okay, Venus then will enter Virgo from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season. So it seems as if you're going to be really well liked and desirable, possibly within your job, maybe amongst the public. You're really seen as smart, as really very put together, as beautiful, as charming, very sociable. And maybe even your friends are a big part of this as well. Your networks, your groups, your teams are a big part of this. Being or feeling seen by them, seen by them or supported by them, because Libra rules your 11th there. There could even just be work opportunities or service-related opportunities that come up that can help you make money, right? That could help you make more money, really. And again, such matters could be tied to that of friendships or groups that you're involved with, such as a recommendation, right? You could be recommended by a friend to someone, and then that, boom, that's a big opportunity for you. And hey, Taurus as well is on the 6th, so even more focus on work. Taurus is also ruled by Venus. Yes, even more focus on work. And maybe for some of you, it's about slowing down. It's about taking your time. It's about considering your health, right? Tuning more into your body. What do you need in order to feel more grounded and safe there? With Venus entering the 10th too, maybe even having those certain conversations with employers so that you get what you need from the role. Maybe there's certain body changes happening for some Sagittarians where you need that space, you need that time. And lastly, we have Juno entering Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of the season. So that could be quite a supportive, merging time, thinking about unity and togetherness with others, right? Because Libra's in the 11th, greater focus on diplomacy. And hey, this could even be about fairness. This could be about fairness, possibly justice. Justice when it comes to social commitments or social systems there, Sagittarius. Okay, so that is you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. We're moving on to Capricorn next. Okay. Right. Thank you for being here, everyone. Capricorn next. All right, Capricorn. So, firstly, I want to say that there is a new moon happening in your 8th house on the 4th of August in Leo. So, this will usher in a new cycle, a new chapter, well, to do with many things. Let me just first start off by saying Leo season can feel like quite an intense and profound month for many Capricorns, because essentially what we're doing is we're going into the darkness. And you're shining a light on the darkness too. You're shining a light on the darkness. You're shining a light on your psyche, your shadow, what's hidden, what's buried. Yes. But this can be quite a revolutionizing time, if you will. It can be quite liberating, because there could be a few things that you discover that are highly empowering. So the new moon could invite some type of new empowerment cycle, or this cycle could be to do with your asexuality, right? Greater growth and empowerment there. Or this could be about fun and romance and play and pleasure and the depths of those things, the intensity related to those things. Quite a pleasure seeking time if you really think about it, Capricorn. Yes. Now, the full moon then will happen on the 19th of August in Aquarius in your 2nd house. So that will be about shedding old skin, releasing, letting go. Well, when it comes to your earnings, your spending habits, your resources, your physical security, your skills, your talents, your self-worth, clarity is coming up here. Epiphany is coming up here. These huge realizations of like, I cannot believe I was doing that this whole time. Time to let it go and embrace the new with the full moon in Aquarius. So there will be more information about the new moon and the full moon in their own separate videos. So definitely stay tuned for those. They will come. Right, let's think about the Mercury retrograde. So the Mercury retrograde is going to happen from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in Virgo in your 9th house. Well, let's just put it this way. We're beginning a little bit lighter, slightly lighter with Mercury, right? We're thinking about, okay, you could possibly just be reviewing, looking over, fact checking travel documentations, making sure all the information is done correctly. Okay, possibly pretty boring stuff. I'm going to be honest, Capricorn, pretty boring. But this could also be about trip planning. Yeah? You're planning a trip somewhere and you want to go over the itinerary. That could be fun. Yeah, that could be so fun. Where you're thinking about, oh, okay, I want to go here. What should we do? You're all about planning, Capricorn, right? You love to plan. Hey, I don't know actually if I would say that you love to plan. It's just that you do. It's just within your nature to plan. I don't know. Let me know. Do you love it? Do you love planning? I genuinely want to know. Do you love it? But anyway, yes, with Mercury retrograde in the 9th, planning trips, or possibly some planning that is going into your higher education. Training. I think this could even be about a certain skill, like a practical skill, a skill that's useful to you, a skill that can be applied to your work, to your services. So Mercury retrograde can be really, really helpful in that you can use it to go over, right, what do I want to learn from this? How do I wish to grow from this? How can I improve here within these areas? Perfect. Plus, work is a part of this because Gemini rules the 6th for you. Mercury ruled. And even with Mars, right? Mars is there in the 6th for you throughout Leo season. So there is a lot of activity, a lot of drive going, a lot of passion going into that, all of your work and your everyday habits and how things operate on a day-to-day level, okay? Possibly greater flexibility and exploring your options. So yes, I feel as if the more matter-of-fact, meticulous thorough Virgo part of this with the Mercury retrograde will also be tied to that of your work, your services, co-worker relationships, upskilling, etc., etc. Possible promotions are on the horizon here for some Capricorns, or just greater responsibility. We all know that when it comes to responsibility, Capricorn, you step up. You step up. Okay. Mercury retrograde will then enter Leo. So that will be from the 14th of August for the rest of Leo season. Okay, couple of things. Let's think about the work stuff to begin with, right? We're saying with Gemini in the 6th, the work stuff, right? Mercury retrograde in Leo for this period could be about managing the accounts. Could be about managing the accounts. It could be about all of the larger, more important things that you need to do so that the company, the organization runs more smoothly, right? So just more, I guess you could say, more managerial. Managerial, is that the word? Hopefully it is. But more managerial skills that need to come about from this, which, hey, can be really helpful, can be useful. Another possibility, though, is that this could be about taking a closer look at what is really required of you with respect to children, looking after children. Okay, with Leo there could be some fears to do with children. There could be I mean, here, even think of it like this. Even Mercury retrograde will make that square to Uranus as well, and that's in your 5th house. So yeah, there could be some sudden unexpected changes or events that happen, or epiphanies that happen with respect to childlike matters, or literally children. So perhaps a big part of this is, right, okay, I need to reassess, I need to get myself together here. Hey, unexpected pregnancies possibly for some Capricorns out there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But here, another possibility is about intimacy. Intimacy. There may be certain conversations to be had with lovers about intimacy, about sex, pleasure, right? Greater pleasure, conversations even just about sex in general, and as well, I would say, revisiting old conversations to do with the taboo. Taboo-like subjects, going there. It's this energy of, you don't want to go there? Well, we're going to go there. We're going to get deep. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the heavy stuff. We're going to talk about the serious stuff. You do not shy away. You do not shy away from the serious conversations, Capricorn. So we may see this on your part, but the thing about this with Mercury retrograde, the transformations that will happen, yes, these mighty, powerful transformations that will happen throughout it all. So really, really interesting. Now, let's focus on Venus. Let's think about Venus. Because Venus is in Leo from the 4th, until the 4th of August. So until the 4th of August, with Venus in your 8th, well, yes, even more focus on intimacy, closeness. This could even be about really becoming powerful about money, about business, earnings, investments, wanting to really generate more power, if you will, and being taken seriously as a boss, as a manager, Or this could be more so about the unconscious drives and motivations to do with money, to do with your resources. Even consider here that we've got Libra in the 10th for you and Taurus in the 5th. So, yes, this stuff I talk about could be related to your career, your vocation, your purpose, and business partnerships, and also children. There could be a lot here to do with how you're planning for the future when it comes to children, or how you're planning for the future when it comes to free time, fun. I feel like Capricorn, you're that type of sign that wants to retire. Well, some of you may want to retire early. And so, what you may do is you may set things up in such a way where you are working for long periods of time, but then that's all for a greater purpose, because then you can retire earlier because you have set up those structures and those foundations to do that. That's just what I get from this energy. So, yeah, maybe financially, this is what we're going to see with Venus and Leo. And possibly, too, feeling recognized, being seen for your skills, for your talents, for your gifts, especially considering how these things are tied to your public image and your creativity and your art. All right, Venus then will enter Virgo from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season. So that part of Venus is about, well, you could possibly be going on that trip. You could possibly be going abroad. There are these pleasurable, enjoyable experiences to be had abroad here with Venus in the 9th from the 4th of August for the rest of the season. This could also be about traveling with your significant other. Or maybe this is traveling for work, traveling for business purposes, because Libra's in the 10th. This could be about traveling for pleasure, or for romantic reasons even there. Maybe it's this whole thing of mixing business with pleasure, Capricorn. Be careful about that, actually. Be careful about that, Capricorn. Yeah, mixing business with pleasure. But maybe you're listening and you're like, no, 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 I'm very cautious there, Hannah. But anyway, we could see this with those activations. But another possibility is just the love for learning, right? Becoming really quite informed, improving upon your knowledge and doing a lot of research and just being in the know, just getting smarter, just learning more here, Capricorn, with this transit of Venus through the 9th. And hey, it could even be that there is greater beauty and charm to do with all of the legal documentation stuff in terms of, okay, you feel like things are going well. That is a possibility. There could be some positive feelings coming up there. All right, lastly, Juno enters Libra. So that is going to be from the 9th of August for the rest of the season. So Juno transiting your 10th house is going to be so much about, well, it's going to be so much about meaningful relationships when it comes to reputation, when it comes to status, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your vocation, all these things. And maybe as well, it's about the commitment piece, balancing things out fairly, making sure that things are managed in a more harmonious way there with respect to your public image and recognition. You're all about recognition, right, Capricorn? Okay, thank you so much, Capricorn. Now we're moving on to Aquarius. Yes. Yes, 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 Aquarius. Just give me a second. Okay, thank you so much for being here, by the way, everybody. I appreciate it. We're nearly coming to the end. I've got two more signs to go. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Okay, cool. Right. Timestamps. Oh, let me see. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Okay, we've got you. Well, Aquarius, we have a new moon happening on the 4th of August in Leo in your 7th house. And then we have a full moon happening on the 19th of August in your sign. Right. New moon says what will be ushered in is that of a new cycle, a new chapter to do with things like clients and customers, to do with your shadow, to do with the people that oppose you, enemies, competitors. Also, a new cycle to do with meaningful relationships, committed relationships, long-term relationships. This could be business, this could be your significant other. Celebration could very well be in order here, Aquarius. I mean, for some of you, this could be about marriage, this could be about engagement, this could be about feeling just really connected with your significant other. Greater joy here, greater feelings of aliveness. Then again, hey, this could just be more about others, right? It could be more about your significant other and their own celebrations, their own wins, celebrating them as individuals. Now, on the 19th of August, we have the full moon in your sign. So there's also something here to do with releasing and shedding old skin, coming to the end of a chapter. When it comes to your identity, when it comes to your aims, your goals, your hopes for the future, even just want to say here, there will be a separate video about the new moon and the full moon, but I do want to mention quickly that the full moon in Aquarius will be a blue moon. So I will talk more about that during the video, but I just thought to mention it for you because it's like, yeah, once in a blue moon, well, so I feel like that's the energy of that is very you. It's just that kind of unexpected, surprising sort of energy. But yes, there could be something here about the unexpected with relation to your hopes and wishes for the future, your life trajectory, this type of stuff. There could also be greater clarity and greater reward. Okay, let's now talk about the Mercury retrograde. So, Mercury retrograde will begin from the 5th of August until the 14th of August in your 8th house in Virgo. Well, a couple of things here. I think that this part of the retrograde could very well indicate more of this matter of fact, right? This matter of fact energy when it comes to intimacy, sex, taboo-like subjects, these areas. You even specifically having conversations with your significant other about, I'm just going to go there, what turns you on, what you like, what's enjoyable, what's pleasurable, what works there. Plus, this could also, the conversations, the practical conversations, possibly some of them are mundane and boring, but anyway, they could be tied to that of shared resources. This could be about investments. You and your significant other, your partner, considering the future of your finances there. This could be about sharing and union, these types of things. And perhaps as well, there is something quite psychological about this. Psychologically speaking, this is about your health, your mental health, your mental well-being, even considering how far you've come, when it comes to your mental health, your mental wellness there. But again, hey, it could be about some improvements, gathering necessary information. Plus, with Gemini ruling the 5th, right? Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. Hey, this could also be about romance, love, dating. This could even be about children, right? Conversations to do with children. This could be conversations about the future there when it comes to love and children, plus the practical steps that you put in place in order to make those things happen. This could be quite, let me say, I'm going to suggest this for Aquarius. This could be quite a life-changing season for many Aquarians. Quite a life-changing season, because there could be major shifts to do with things like marriage, commitment, bonding, intimacy, emotional connection, but there could also be stuff to do with children. There's also matters here to do with family and home. So yeah, a whole new chapter, a whole new leaf here, turning a whole new leaf for many Aquarians this season. Now, let's also think about Mercury retrograde entering Leo from the 14th of August for the end of the season. Well, Mercury retrograde in Leo on the 7th, well, there's a few things here. It could be about reassessing, reviewing certain contracts and agreements when it comes to business, for certain business deals. There could be certain ideas that come up, within business settings. They're very creative. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of enthusiasm, much inspiration. But it is about, okay, let's just think this through. Even with Mercury retrograde in Virgo for the first part, there are elements of, okay, yes, there are plans in place we want to make, there are things we want to do, but let's also think these through, right? Let's go over the process, and do consider as well with retrogrades, there can be delays, there can be certain setbacks. So with the Mercury retrograde part in Leo, these setbacks and these delays could be more about creativity, okay? Could be more about creative projects. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to close my door. 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so I just want to continue. I want to finish for you, Aquarius. Okay, another thing I want to say about this Mercury retrograde for Aquarius. Well, again, we come back to, could be the children stuff, but it could also be about creativity and art, free time. Maybe a good month to consider the free time that you spend with your significant other. Maybe even thinking about how you can enjoy yourself, right? Welcoming greater moments of enjoyment, entertainment, fun, play. A lot of this stuff is in Leo across from you. So it's almost as if you can take a note out of Leo's book and you can welcome in the fun and the spontaneity and the enthusiasm, and then mix that in with all the Gemini. There could be something about new ideas, and just the sparks are flying. Sparks could be flying romantically. Sparks could be flying even when it comes to friends. And I mean that in a platonic way, actually, but it's just more of that, oh, yes, this is so great. We're having a good time. Okay, let's now think about Venus. So Venus will enter Virgo from the 4th of August. Now, from the beginning of Leo season until the 4th of August, Venus will be in Leo in the 7th house. So Venus then here in your 7th could actually be about creating beauty and harmony and cooperation and being diplomatic when it comes to business partnerships, getting along well with other people. This could be about other people really shining within partnerships and you feeling connected, you feeling inspired. This could also be about greater applause, greater recognition, feeling seen when it comes to your relationships and your partnerships. And as Venus then starts to enter your 8th house from the 4th of August for the rest of the season, well, Venus will take on a much more intimate and emotional quality. But with it being in Virgo, it's more so going to be about how these things are communicated and how they are practically applied. This is about possibly experiencing greater pleasure and sensuality there, but it's important to get out of your mind. It's important to get out of your mind and to live in the moment. I feel as if a lot of what Leo season is teaching you this season, Aquarius, is that of just letting your hair down and embracing all of the joy and the free time and just all the celebrations that Leo has to offer. Just live for the now. And still, hey, with Virgo, there could be beauty in greater sensuality. And beauty even when it comes to joining together, on a more financial level with another. The joining of resources, for example, right? There could be some type of uh, beauty and enjoyment that comes from that, or just the honesty piece, the trustworthy piece, the commitment piece could be quite a secure feeling for you. Okay. Also, let me see here. Yes, I also want to mention that, right? So, what I was saying there about Venus, Libra rules your ninth house and Taurus rules your fourth. So, the Venus and Leo part from the beginning of Leo season until the fourth, the relationship stuff, the partnership stuff could also be tied to travel, right? So, traveling with your significant other could also be tied to family and home and stability. So these themes could also be a part of that information. And also with Venus entering Virgo from the 4th of August for the rest of the season. Again, remember that there is a part of intimacy and emotional bonding and shared resources that are linked to that of family and home, that are linked to that of travel and possibly higher education, learning more. Whether this be moving in with a significant other, whether this be taking it to another level, the next stage with someone that you love, whether this be moving to another country with your spouse. So those are just some examples. Lastly, Juno will enter Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of Leo season. So that will happen in your 9th house, Aquarius. So that transit, I feel, will welcome greater commitment and greater dedication then to that of higher education and learning more and just educating yourself further, maybe upon matters that are a bit bigger or wider, so to speak, matters that are maybe broader in terms of fairness and justice. So, yes, there could perhaps be a greater sense of, okay, this is what I'm committed to do here. This is what's meaningful to me here when it comes to these areas. Lastly, we've got Pisces. Hello, a higher perspective. Welcome to you. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is from the perspective of the rising signs, of course, first and foremost. But I also recommend watching for the sun and moon to see what resonates with you, especially, if you have a day chart, I would recommend watching for the sun. If you have a night chart, I would recommend watching for the moon. I have made a video about this. You can find it on my list. It's under should you watch for your sun, moon, or rising? Okay, lastly, we have Pisces. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much. Pisces. Right. Let's firstly look at how this Leo season, there is going to be a new moon in your 6th house on the 4th of August in Leo. So what is going to be ushered in chapter to do with the workload, your productivity, how efficient you are, your daily responsibilities, your health, attending to your health and your wellness. And there's also going to be a full moon in Aquarius on the 19th of August in your 12th house. So that will be about a release. That will be this sort of letting go to do with, well, the unconscious, your unconscious drives, your unconscious motivations. There could be some serious epiphanies, realizations, greater clarity, actually, greater spiritual awareness, greater spiritual clarity. Your intuition may be a big part of this as well, Pisces, as perhaps you'd be pleased to know, as you can be such intuitive people. Very wise people, I must say. So yes, that will be the full moon then. There will be a separate video, which will be more detailed, a separate video to do with the new moon and the full moon coming, so stay tuned. Let's now discuss Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde will begin in your 7th house in Virgo from the 5th of August until the 14th of August. So this part of the retrograde will be perhaps about conversations, revisiting old conversations with your significant other about possibly family and home. Because, hey, Gemini is on the 4th house cusp. So, yes, there could be a reassessment, a revisiting of those conversations. And maybe this is about moving, right? Relocating. This could be about a previous or a recent move that has been made. This could also be about people coming to visit, people coming to stay, and just getting clarity about the details there. Maybe as well, if it is that you're planning to maybe put something together with your significant other. I mean, this could be a certain date that you plan with your significant other, or it could be something a bit more serious. Perhaps it's a wedding or a special event. Whatever the case, Mercury retrograde in Virgo says, make sure you look over all of the details, make sure you have all of the necessary information that you need, and perhaps too, if you need to perhaps like speak to a family member or a relative about the information, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, Pisces. And also, as Mercury retrograde starts to move into Leo, so this will be from the 14th of August for the rest of the season. Well, this will happen in your 6th house. So it does also appear as if, whilst you are just taking a closer look at things like documents, agreements, contracts, especially between you and your significant other, or especially when it comes to business, because business could be a part of it. But whilst all that's happening, there's also layers here to do with work and services and employees. Thinking about even certain people that work for you, right? Employees that you look after, and possibly as well employers having to have a good chat about the future, about what you want, recognition, promotion could be a big thing, getting the right amount of pay, for example. There could be all sorts of conversations that you want to have, that you want clarity on. And a big part of it too is you really knowing your worth, I guess, because the thing about it is Venus is also in Leo, right? So Venus is in Leo until the 4th of August. So with Venus in that 6th house for you, Pisces, it is about, okay, yeah, I am placing a lot of my value here into my work, so I want to be recognized. It's like, yes, I am making things happen. I am caring about other people and I'm caring about what I'm doing. There's just so much of that loyalty, I guess you could say, and that dedication and that determination that goes into your services. You know what? Maybe for many of you Pisces, you are being recognized. This Mercury retrograde, whilst Venus is there too for a portion, right? You are being recognized this Leo season, and people are noticing you. They're noticing the big moves that you're making. They're noticing the attention that you give to others, the joy that you bring, the love and the honesty that you bring. And like I said, the value, the value that you bring. Pisces, it does not go unnoticed when you pour your heart into your work, whether this be a work situation that's more creative, right? This could be like illustration, this could be about film, drama, whatever. Just when you put your work and your heart, sorry, when you put your heart into your work, it shows. It shows. And you are the types of people who could get lost. You could get lost in your work. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. I've just been talking so much, but I hope you get the point. This Leo season then for you Pisces is going to welcome celebration, rejoice, enjoy, like just enjoy that you have really been recognized, and you have been there to support and to shine within your job and to even shine the light on other people. Yes. Possibly celebrating a certain win or having a party. You could host a party, or hey, maybe people will host a party for you because they're so appreciative towards you, right? Your employees may think to themselves, hey, you know what? We really love our Pisces, our Pisces boss. Let's throw a party for them. Now, another possibility, of course, with Mercury retrograde is, right, again, when we go back to Gemini, there could be some health related matters that you take a closer look at, maybe linked to that of family or taking care of a family member. Or this could go back to that of your home, right? Attending to your home. This could even be by children if you have any children, the extra work that you're doing or the amount of progress that you're making within your job because you're trying to support your family, you're trying to support your children. So there could be these things. Maybe as well, there's something here about pets, right? So looking after your pets, whoever you look after, it just feels like there's a caregiving quality to this Leo season, especially with Mars being in the 4th house and how active and how assertive you're going to be within your home. Jupiter, your chart ruler, is also there, remember, too, adding expansion and growth. Let's now think then about Venus. So like I said, Venus is in Leo until the 4th, and I kind of touched on Venus already, but let's then even consider here that Venus is about finances and materials, and Venus also rules your 8th and your 3rd houses. So until the 4th of August, there could be elements here coming up to do with, okay, my work that I'm doing is about sharing. It's about how I bring my resources and the money that I earn to my relationships. How you join together with your significant other. Heck, you and your significant other could be working your butts off right now with Venus there, trying to provide. Plus, there could be elements here to do with wanting to assist your neighbors, wanting to assist your siblings or your cousins, right? With Taurus there, just so basically your earning is about supporting your neighbors or supporting your siblings or your cousins or whoever, your local people within your local area, right? You could be helping people out, for example. Genuinely, I mean, this is you, Pisces. Pisces is the type of sign that if, someone comes up to you and you're like, hey, Pisces, I really need your help. I really need your support with this. Pisces, you can be so, so kind. Kind is the word for this. Very kind. And you show up in really practical ways for people within your local community. Oh my gosh. So yeah, these themes could come up. And then as Venus enters your seventh house from the 4th of August for the rest of Leo season, we see here that Venus in the seventh indicates pretty beneficial and rewarding business partnerships. Now, I get it. Venus is also in its fall in Virgo. I know. But I do still think in a positive light, Venus here in Virgo says that people are willing to help you out. There are people within the facility that want to assist you in some way. Maybe even a part of this is being able to ask for help. You may feel like you can't, or that maybe you just don't. Perhaps you feel as if you can do everything on your own, but maybe Venus in Virgo says, hey, the support's there. All you got to do is ask for it. You just got to reach out for it. Maybe this is also looking at the assistance that is given via business, right? There could be a business partnership, there could be an employment situation that comes up, and that person is really being helpful and assisting you with documents, assisting you with necessary skills and information. Maybe for some of you Pisces, you are focusing on improving, right? Just improving on a relationship level. Maybe improving within work via relationships, if you understand. And hey, the seventh house is also about our significant other. So there could be what feels like greater harmony and ease when it comes to the relationship that you have with your significant other. Now, I know as well with Venus and Virgo, with the fall stuff, there could be extra criticisms and being very nitpicky and fault finding and stuff like that. I know there's more to this, but I just wanted to keep it more with positive things for you Pisces. Now, lastly, I would like to mention that Juno is going to enter Libra from the 9th of August for the rest of Leo season. So Juno will transit your 8th house. Therefore, there will be greater commitments being made when it comes to shared resources. And I mean just making sure that things are balanced. And even if I feel like if things are not in balance, you will be reminded that they're not. And it's important to stay on track because Juno is like, no, I'm committed here. No, I can't have that. Yeah. So in the 8th house, yes, there could be a greater focus on making sure that what you and another person contribute, well, yes, this could be about marriage, this could be about business, right? But whatever you contribute, things are pretty fair, reasonable. People are doing their fair share. Okay. All right. So, everybody, this has been the Leo season horoscopes. We've done it. We've gotten through all of the signs. I knew it would be a long one, so I'm glad I didn't include those aspects from the beginning. Again, just to remind you, if you want more information about the aspects, which I listed at the beginning, you can join the Patreon, right? I talk about them over there. And just I want to say thank you so much to my patrons over at Patreon for all of your support. You can join by going to the link below. And with that, everyone, thank you for listening. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. And if you really enjoyed today's presentation, if you enjoyed your horoscope, you can always buy me a coffee. But hey, no pressure. There's no pressure. If anything, I'm just really happy and so thankful that you're all tuning in, that you're here. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being here. Even just reading through comments quickly. Gina, hi, Gina. I'm sorry I didn't get to read through the chat. It's just as I'm going through horoscopes, I try to just focus. I need to focus. Accomplish recognition, ideas to fruition. Yep. Plan, but something always Oh, you do like to plan. Okay. Yeah, because earlier I was asking, do you like to plan? Okay, interesting. Thank you for sharing. Good night, Luna. Thank you. You're probably long gone, but thank you for being here. Awesome. A higher perspective, you said this makes a lot of sense. And Edyard and Ramlam, you're chatting amongst yourselves, so that's good. That's good. But yeah, I think that has that's everybody. Yeah. Hey, I just want to say before I go, I will be off next week. So Chiron through the houses, I'm hoping to get done tomorrow. Hoping. Let's see. And then the next live will be the new moon in Leo. Yeah, we've got the new moon in Leo coming. I wanted to post the Leo season horoscopes early because I'm going to be off for next week. Time to relax. I need it. Hey, I need it. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much. Good luck this Leo season and happy birthday to all of you solar Leos. I hope you have the best birthday. And with that, have a great weekend, everybody. And I will talk.